So firstly, if you come to the UK, there's one person who's always going to be there, which is Sean Fitzpatrick. But if you come to Cardiff, you're going to come to the Angel Hotel. And Fitzy, it's almost, whether it's a rite of passage or as a player, a former All Black, you come here and we know it's historic significance to New Zealand rugby, but in some ways it's significant to players a little bit more, right?
Yeah, well, I'm a bit older than you, Goldie, but I remember this game. I obviously wasn't here, but watching it on TV and it's, to be here. I was here a year ago when we played here last time. Came here, had a quiet drink, toasted the man behind me, and moved on. And it's almost like it's part of our legacy. And now that Keith's passed away, it's nice to be here as a past All Black, just showing our respect to one of our men that got left behind.
And I've spoken to this All Black group as well, and the management and the players, they talk about it to make sure that's passed down. And I think that's something that's really, really important, right? Something that's always been a part of what we did when we were playing.
Yes.
You know, we talked about the past, we talked about significant things that have happened, and when something like this happened, which is tragic in a way, but it almost sent a message to the rest of us, right, about how we needed to look after each other as All Blacks going forward.
Yeah, I don't think that team didn't look after him. They didn't get the opportunity to look after him. I suppose people like Kirky and Andy Hayden and those sort of people. And I've spoken to Andy about it. When he was alive, we spoke about this guy behind him, and they were devastated. And as it transpired, it got worse and worse because he never went home, which is terrible. And take away the rugby side of it, just as a person. To feel as though he couldn't come back to New Zealand was really sad. So to be able to come here tonight and you're here and there's other All Blacks in the bar there, it's just something nice to do.
Yeah, Zinni just flew by. There's Marshy and Mertz are floating around. The significance of playing here now, there seems to be, we talk about a kindred spirit. We talk about teams that, and we know it's a long time since Wales have beaten the All Blacks, but it seems as that in some ways it's irrelevant in terms of our love of the game here in Wales and in New Zealand. Do you get that sense? And tomorrow at 70-odd thousand at Principality Stadium, which is Millennium Stadium, which before was Cardiff Arms Park, there's something between these two countries. Do you still sense that?
Very much so. And one of the proudest moments of my life was in 1989 playing at the Arms Park. Something I'd grown up as a young boy, watching the Arms Park, the singing, everything that went with that. And last night we were very fortunate to be down in Llanelli, which marks the 50 years since Llanelli beat the All Blacks in 1972. And they had the most wonderful dinner down there. Max Spence, our president, was there with me, and we were dressed in our All Black gear, which was amazing. But the pride that they had and the humility, but the excitement they had about beating the All Blacks. And they were very humble about it. They weren't disrespectful, but it just showed the amazing relationship that we have with Welsh rugby. And to be here, and I'm like you, we're just All Black fans now, yeah. But we were fortunate to have played for the All Blacks. But being in this town on this weekend is so special. Because of the relationship we have with the Welsh.
Lastly though, but we're more than fans though, we're analysts of the game. We get to talk about the game. We've looked at the All Blacks, you've looked from afar. I've seen them up close this year. It's been probably one of the most challenging seasons All Black rugby's ever faced. But you get the sense maybe they've turned a corner. Do you feel they turned a corner at the back end of the Rugby Championship, or will they prove it perhaps on this tour?
I think it's important that we prove it on these three games. We need to, we played Japan last week, but I think the next three games are crucial in terms of us going into next year with a real degree of confidence. I'm really confident. I watched the captain's run today, as you did, and I'm really positive. We're doing things differently in this cycle than we've done before. We're trying different combinations. We're building depth. But I think it's important to win these three games to give us that confidence going into next year.
I'll tell you what's important too. What we do is we always do. Let's get together, go and have a beer, and look forward to what's going to be a great test tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thank you.